Hi guys, welcome to the weekly intuitive card reading for the week of the first full week of July, which would be July 1st through July 7th. If you guys haven't already, check out the monthly reading on my YouTube channel for July. I expect to see some repeat type energy, but who knows? June was a little bit of a wild card, so maybe July will be as well. So go ahead and check that out. Also, like this video, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies of the week or any of the messages that come out through this reading. What else? Comments down below. Feedback always welcome. Be kind. Would love to see how this reading resonates with you. Same 4 decks used, shuffled of course, different order from the last reading. And that's it. All right, let's begin, guys. Okay, we need an exorcist. It's so funny saying that. I don't know why I find that so funny. Okay, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. I like this archetype, okay, because it's about exercising our demons. Okay, so if you guys haven't checked out the monthly, and I don't mean to do a spoiler, but we definitely did get a card about, we got the addict card somewhere. I think it was in Action Needed. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say sorry about my nasalness. I am still having histamine sinus issues, so my apologies. Hopefully you can hear me well. So, you know, looking at our addictions, looking at our obsessions, looking at what we can't stop doing or what we're, you know, quote unquote addicted to, right? Exercise is kind of like exercising that, right? It's kind of saying like, and I don't mean exercise like physical exercise, I mean like getting it out, like purging, okay? It's more like purging. So basically it's in the light, and basically it's saying all of those impulses, all of those addictions, all of those obsessions, we need to see them again in the light as a more positive thing, because that's what Spirit is asking us to do, is like look at them in a more positive way. How do we work with them, not hating on it, right? That's part of shadow. That's part of our shadow, is our vices or addictions, things like that. They're also a part of us, right? They aren't us, they are a part of us, right? And we can't hate things that are a part of us. So we need to love them to death, basically, is a best way to say it here, because it's saying like you can get rid of these impulses, you can work on these impulses, but again, don't hate on them, right? And basically it's underneath, and it's saying we need to love them. We need to love them to death. We need to have them, you know, maybe work for us, right? Because that's kind of what the shadow too is. It's saying like, how do we work with what our vices are? How do we work with them? How do we love them, right? So we still need that, okay? So there's some deep stuff going on here in July. But, you know, the underlying message here is really kind of about loving ourselves and making sure that we are worthy and that we do have shadow sides to ourselves. So I don't even want to say, because sometimes I remember April was a big shadow work month for us because a lot of my stuff came up. And I was like, oh man, this reading was, you know, spot on. But it's not necessarily shadow work. Kind of, but not really. It's more so about like a self-love journey in a way, and making things work for us. But making sure that, you know, we don't identify with it, that we love ourselves through it, and using it in a positive way, okay? All right, let's see. Action Needed. Wow, I'm getting really nasally, guys. I'm so sorry. Serendipity. So this is kind of like things that don't happen out of happenstance, things that are serendipitous, that are quote unquote destined, things that are synchronistic, things that just kind of happen by the logical way to say it is by chance, but let's be honest, nothing is really random, right? And so basically the fact that it's under Action Needed is telling us we need to kind of not just take chances, but see the magicalness. Is that a word? Wait, is that a word? Magic. The magic. Oh my God! Please, guys, don't judge me. My brain is still healing. Okay. The magnificent magic of our lives, of things that flow, of synchronicity. You know, knowing that it's kind of like the Fates card, to be honest with you, where it's kind of saying like taking a chance on something and just knowing it's going to work itself out. Okay, and so we need to actually take action on that. So I will say there might be some opportunity here, but you guys know me, I'm always about intuition. Listen to your intuition, but this should be aligned with intuition, right? Because just make sure our fear is not holding us back, right? And so take the chance, because no matter what, you're going to end up, things are going to be serendipitous for you. So take the action that's actually required or needed, okay? Again, I'll give that disclaimer. You must listen to your own intuition. You cannot listen to these readings verbatim, okay? These are only supposed to be helpful. These are supposed to be assisting you in helping your own intuition. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense for you guys. But basically, it's saying no matter, I don't want to say that. Like, I don't want to say like no matter what you do, you'll get the outcome that you want. Essentially, no, that's not true. But it's saying go with the flow. Take some leaps. Maybe this week, take some chances, take some risks. You'll end up where you're supposed to end up. That's what basically it's saying. Or you'll end up in a place that maybe you didn't necessarily, quote unquote, know that you needed, if that makes sense. Okay. Issue. Hunter, track down your fears and desires. Okay. So we're having an issue facing our fears that are blocking our desires. That makes sense because I just mentioned fear here. So I was getting like a little bit of this energy of fear is stopping us from different things. So what's the opposite of fear? It's love. So I already mentioned love up here. Okay, so I'm seeing an underlying theme of loving ourselves to death, right? And kind of exercising, fear out of ourselves, right? Out of our bodies. Because let me just tell you, it is a radical act to love yourself in the society that we're in right now. With all your flaws, with all your vices, with all of the things that you don't love about yourself, okay? It is something, if you can master, you will be extremely, extremely powerful and unstoppable, okay? And so, how's that for a pep talk? Because, it's true. Because this society that we live in does not honor or respect or put on a pedestal those that do that, right? So it's quite the opposite, right? So basically this is saying we're having an issue facing our fears, and that's what's stopping us from our desires, right? And that's what's stopping us from taking chances or risks. That's what's stopping us from loving ourselves no matter what the flaws that we have, right? So there's definitely some fear stuff kind of coming up here. Let me see what challenge is, because sometimes it's similar. Protection. Okay, so we're not feeling protected. When I hear feeling protected, it's more like Spirit is showing me like root chakra, like stability, could be financial, could be being safe, like in our own bodies, for whatever reason or whatever's kind of going on with you guys. I'm reading for the collective. It could be a wide, variety of things. So we just don't feel safe, and that makes sense why fear would come up, right? And so we're having a challenge feeling safe, feeling protected, feeling stable, and those types of fears, in addition to other ones that kind of come up, is really preventing us from getting what we truly desire from our desires. So that's going to be a theme that's going to be coming up this week for us, is really kind of battling those fears and looking at them head on, which is really, really, really hard. So be easy on yourself, basically. All right, what's actually changing? Servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. Okay, so what's changing? I always find this a really positive thing. There's another card in here. It's another archetype. It's the guide card, archetype card. And similar energy sometimes it has is that, pleasure to serve. It's good to make somebody else feel good, right? And it's not that we don't want to. It's just that some of us have been in survival mode for like a really long time, okay? So you can't take care of other people until you take care of yourself. Like you do not have the ability to do so. So the fact that it's changing, it's in the light, saying that yes, now you're having the ability to do so is a really positive thing. I think we got the guide card in that same type energy maybe a couple months back, but maybe it was short-lived. This feels like it's really kind of changing for more of like a permanent basis, where it's saying like, okay, now I'm really ready to serve other people. I'm really ready to get into that archetype and really able to do so and make people happy and that kind of thing. And that's what's changing. So you'll see the change this week. That's exciting, I think, because what's better than making other people happy, right? Besides making yourself happy first. But that's the thing. It feels like doing all of these things and working on yourself. And if you saw the July reading, it's really kind of about our own personal and professional development. We have the energy to help others. So, okay, focus, all the glitters. Okay, so this has a couple of things to it, but basically this is always about not everything that we think is perfect, or not everything we think is for us is for us. So basically it's saying focus on, here, incoming cliche, focus on the journey, not the destination, because the destination is not as important. I know that's like a little different from what I just said, but that's what I'm getting here is like, let serendipity take you is basically kind of what I'm getting, because it's saying like what you think you want may not necessarily be exactly what you want. You might have because that's the other thing too, guys, is that sometimes fear is a little bit of a bitch, because it makes us think that we don't want the things that we want, or it makes us think that we don't deserve the things that we want, or that we can never attain them, et cetera, et cetera. But there might be something here where we are wanting something, but it's kind of like it's not as great as we think it is. Okay, so this, again, another disclaimer about following your intuition. Follow your intuition about, what life, what you really truly desire, but just be open to the fact that it could be a little skewed because of our lens of fear. Focus on the here and now, focus on the journey, whatever you're kind of going through this week, and not necessarily so much on that, on, I don't want to say don't focus on the desire, but don't put so much emphasis on the desire is a better way to put it. Okay, reflect. See or see beyond the current situation. Okay, so see things differently. We've been getting a few different cards in the last 3 readings. I think I got change your perspective. So this is also about looking at a different perspective. So see beyond a current situation, see things differently. I think you guys will be able to, and that will come in a whole bunch of reflections because this really is pretty broad. So our consciousness is changing, how we see things is changing, and just kind of reflect on that, because you might be thinking differently. That's all, and that's a positive thing. Okay, responsibilities. We have balance. Okay, so your only responsibility this week is to make sure things are balanced. So this means energy. This means masculine and feminine energy. This means our go, go, go versus our rest. This means our daily activities. This means all encompassed, all encompassing all of those things. So balance, balance, balance. Don't overdo anything. There's not too much more I can say about that, but I will say up here with the impulses and things like that, sometimes it could go to extremes. So that might be why this is coming through here, where it's saying, I know we're loving we're loving our impulses, we're loving our addictions, we're loving the vices, that kind of thing. But we need to learn to work with it. And part of working with it is balance, right? Balance, balance, balance. Okay. Money, finances, and career. Guys, before I pull this card, the last 3, wait, let me take a sip of water. Histamine issues. All right. Before I pick this card, the last 3 readings that I did, monthly and then the 2 weeklies before, I'm pretty sure we've had a very stagnant type energy here, where nothing is super moving here, nothing is of note, of priority. So let's see what this card has to say. I'm like hyping it up a little too much, I think. Okay, Midas Miser, entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life. Okay, finally. Okay, so this means we can make something into nothing. This means you can sell ice to an igloo. It's not in the shadow, it's in the light. So it's saying like you don't have, it's just, and this might be our perspective. This might be one of the places where we're changing our perspective. We can make money. Money is available to us. So it's definitely, I will say, and maybe this isn't the greatest news, but I will say mindset is changing around money and how you make your money and how you make your finances and career and all that stuff. but maybe it might not come to fruition. You guys have heard me talk about things that have come out in the physical and the environment, but energy can be physical, but could also be internal. Okay, so you might be kind of feeling that now, but you might not necessarily see it this week. Basically, you might be able to start seeing how it could be done, is a good example, but maybe not necessarily more money in your bank account, right? So that might be that. I see it as a positive thing. I think it has something to do with the overall arching theme. Spoiler of the monthly is us really, really working on ourselves in a professional aspect. Okay, so this might be improving our confidence in that area, which is great. I'm just glad it's not a stagnant card. So things are moving. Okay, energy is finally moving here. Okay, we have surprise, peace. Okay, so you'll be surprised at how much peace you have. We haven't had a peace card in a while, I don't think. So you'll be surprised at how peaceful the week is. Nothing crazy, no chaos, no conflict, at least yet. I mean, I haven't pulled the last 5 cards, but that's the energy I'm getting from that. So that's awesome. No surprises, basically under surprise. It's very peaceful. You're at peace. I also find that's a positive thing too with that Exorcist card up there, where it's saying like we're at peace with ourselves, Okay, friends, Broken Arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Another peace card. What the heck? Yes. So very peaceful in our friends group. Not surprised. We got a good reading for this. We got some good energy from friends in the monthly. So embrace the energy of peace. That's it. Things are great. Nothing's going on. No conflicts. Chilling. Friends are great. I don't think I have anything else to say about that. Romantic connection. Bond. Yes. All right. Look at this. Very good bond, deeper intimacy, deeper bonding, deeper connections with our significant others. Great week for dating. Okay, great week for dating. You might be connecting with somebody and feeling like you really can be intimate with somebody. You find somebody that you want to be intimate with. You connect with them. Love that. Again, not too much more I can say about that. Important. Lover. Shadow, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. Okay. Came in the shadow. Guys, I need another sip of water. Oh my gosh. It's the heat that exasperates it. It's not, yeah, it is kind of hot today in New York, but almost done. I can get through this. Okay, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. Okay, very interesting how we have more like, so in general, the lover is like a love addict. Okay, so it's very interesting. We have that word addict coming up again. Okay, so or that type of energy kind of coming up again, and obsessive type energy. So this is basically saying, make sure you don't fall into that. And it doesn't necessarily, so it's positive that the romantic connection is, and I'm getting a very positive type energy to this, like a deep, intimate bond. So it's not like I use the love addict for an example because, where am I going with this? Okay, let me start over. Like, let's put it this way. I just said it's a really good week for dating. I don't think you're going to start, having all this, love addiction with somebody that you just met. I don't feel like that's what Spirit is trying to tell us here. Because this card is so good, because this feels genuine. That's what I'll say. It feels genuine, it feels authentic, etc., etc. So it doesn't feel like it breaks into that or moves into that. But this is basically saying, just pay attention to what is self-destructive, like just self-destructive patterns. And to anything that you love. Love doesn't have to be romantic love, okay? This could be like love of pleasure, okay? There's plenty of addictions that are associated with that. I'm not going to go into it, okay? Food, okay? I won't go into it. But just, you got to keep that in check, okay? It's below the balance card, okay? So Spirit is asking us, saying it's important not to give into those, our obsessive and self-destructive patterns. We have to balance things out, but we just need to make sure that that it is important and we are focusing on that. yeah, I think that's all I want to say about that. I think that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, put any questions down below, by the way. But I'm very interested to see, I was trying to think, how could that apply to me in my own life, if I could give a metaphor, but I can only think of my hyperfixations. I think I have ADHD, and it's pretty bad. It's been pretty bad the last few years because I'm not able to do my spiritual work as full-time as full-time. And I kind of channeled my obsession into that. My hyperfixation onto that. Because I went from doing it like 24/7 to these weekly readings and monthly readings. So I've had to fill in the gaps in other places. So I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with my little hyperfixations that I have, that I really just hyper focus on something and just go and run with it, basically. Anyway, so just don't let them get out of hand. That's all Spirit is asking. Just don't, whatever you love, don't overlove it. Don't, kill it. Like that kind of thing. Don't overdo it. It's just basically what Spirit is asking. I don't know if my example was great, but you guys know I'm not always great right off the bat with those things. So, all right, health and wellness not for you. Okay, so basically it's saying, look, something's not for you, and that's okay, right? So if you're on any kind of health journey or wellness journey, which everybody usually is, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual, whether it's mental, if you feel like something doesn't resonate with you, don't do it. The 6 is jumping out to me. 6 is always about responsibility. It's about home life. It's about family. If your family is pressuring you to do something, if it messes, I don't know, this is kind of specific and weird, but maybe it'll resonate with you guys. If it messes with your home, or if it messes with your home life in any way, shape, or form, it just might not, like, something here doesn't feel good. I'll put it this way. Something doesn't feel good here, where basically it's almost like someone or something is forcing, or it could be us, forcing ourselves. Like, I don't like this because it's force energy. You guys know how I feel about force energy. It's like, it's like, no, this isn't for you, and it's not for you, right? And but you might be pressured. Your family might be doing something. It might be something that's going on in the home. I'm not really sure. Again, that could also be family, friends pressuring you to something to do. Even though, again, we have, friends is pretty peaceful, so maybe not. But I don't know. There feels like there's something being pushed upon you, forced upon you, but it's not for you. Okay, and I feel like you guys need to hear that. Again, my disclaimer. Please listen to your own intuition. You know what's best for you, okay? And overall outcome. Lord, take charge of authority. Awesome. Okay, so basically Spirit is saying we're starting to just be ready to kind of like take charge of our life. I will say this. I do feel this energy of this preparing us for success. I never really use that term success because it's kind of like, what does that mean? But I definitely do feel like we're on the horizon for becoming more in control in a positive way of our reality, which, I mean, we always are, but again, I definitely got this feeling of, survival mode the last 4 years, and I've been talking to a lot of you guys, and it hasn't been great. You're fine. Like, the energy is finally changing. I know I keep saying that, but I swear. Look, I've been seeing 555, for example, for like a year. Okay, I know, and it's not a lie because things are changing. Okay, I'm getting better. It's just I think they do that. The angels do that because they're giving you a heads up, and I'm also praying every single day. Give me signs and all that stuff, but they do it for a long time, let's put it that way. So anyway, but things are changing, and you're definitely feeling, we've been getting like these feelings of confidence kind of like sneaking in here and there, and I definitely feel like this also exudes that, where we're just being more confident that we can do it, that we can take charge, that we can be in control again, and we can be calm, cool, and collected. We have 2 calm cards, 2 peaceful cards. That's wonderful. And the fact that we're loving on our, we're taking control of, the things that, control addictions, impulses, obsessiveness, all of that stuff sometimes can make us feel out of control. So this coming here where it's saying, no, we're taking charge of our destiny. We're taking charge of, we're saying I'm in control. This, whatever this thing is not in control of me. Okay. So there is something big here with that. So definitely, like I said, technically shadow work, but technically not, because we're loving up on it. So it's not necessarily like we are, like, let's put it this way. I don't feel like it's something that we need to necessarily heal. It's just something that we need to work with. Okay. And some people say that would be the definition of shadow work, but a lot of people have different definitions of it. But overall, I would say super positive. It looks like a great week. I will say, pointing out the health and wellness, just, say no to force. I should put that on a mug. I always have these little sayings, and I will put them on a mug one day. One day, guys, and one day, life is impermanent, right? Everything is temporary. So that means one day I'm going to be 100% better, okay? So when that day comes, I'm making mugs, okay? And I'm having my little stupid phrases on it. I don't think they're stupid. I think they're fun. I meant stupid in a loving way, But, say no to force is a good one. But, especially if intuition says no, it's a no. So, okay, guys, have a wonderful week. I will see you for the next week. And check out the monthly. Don't forget about that. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.